Have you ever heard a scream tearing through the night in the fields? That is the sound of a herd of wild pigs rushing through, like a black tornado tearing everything in its path. Just 1 minute of carelessness, your entire crop suddenly turns into rubble. People still think that the biggest danger for farmers is drought and pests. But in Texas, and many other lands, the biggest fear is called wild pigs. They do not come singly, they come in packs, tens, hundreds, even thousands. Each one is a destructive machine, sharp teeth like knives, enough strength to knock down fences, speed that even hunting dogs have to give up. At night, the fields are still peaceful. In the morning, there are only footprints, patchy land, leafless crops, and lost fruit. That is the haunting reality that many farmers are living with every day. What makes an animal that only exists in the deep forest dare to declare war on humans? And what will farmers do to fight against these ferocious wild boars? Wild boars are not only strong, they are also extremely intelligent and stubborn. When cornered, they do not run away. They counterattack, charging in unison. One charge can break an adult's leg, and their sharp teeth are ready to rip apart anyone who stands too close. Therefore, hunting wild boars is not a game for a lone wolf. If you think you are strong, fast, and can catch them by yourself, think again. History has proven those who are subjective are often the first to get hurt. There must be teammates. One person shoots, one person observes, one person is always ready to support from behind. The wild boar hunting team is a real fighting team, and each member must be alert and coordinate like a machine.
Great.
Down.
Yes.
Just one mistake, one slip, and the whole team can fall into danger, surrounded by a herd of wild boars in the dark. It is not only a matter of crop failure, but sometimes a matter of life and death. That is why every experienced hunter reminds, never hunt wild boars alone. If you ignore that, you may face danger. But as the wild boar herd grows larger, more ferocious, and more cunning, traditional hunting methods gradually become ineffective. There are herds of wild boars that hide among the vast grasslands and dense forests, disappearing in just 1 minute. At night, they march out like a ghost army, destroying one rice field after another. That's when modern technology must step in. And in the survival battle with this destroyer, helicopters, yes, you heard right, helicopters have become the ultimate weapon of agricultural defenders. With just a swish of its wings, the helicopter flies along thousands of hectares of fields, looking down. From above, the entire movement of the wild boar herd is clearly visible under the lens. No more hidden corners, no more hiding places. Hunters from the plain can easily detect each herd of pigs and can even predict their movement to stop them before they destroy the entire crop. But this weapon is not cheap. The cost of renting a helicopter, fuel, operating personnel, monitoring equipment, all are expensive. There are raids where just a few hours in the air cost almost as much as a farmer's family's monthly salary. For many farmers, building a strong fence is the most effective defense to protect crops from wild boar damage. Compared to hunting, trapping, or chemical measures, fencing helps prevent wild boars from entering in the first place, minimizing risks and saving effort in the long run.
But we had to build all this ground up right here to hang the gate on. So you're able to, once you use one of these instead of just the ones they give you with the gate that screw into the post.
The fence should be at least 1.8 m, 2.4 m high to prevent wild boars from jumping over. Many practical cases show that low fences under 1.5 m are often knocked down or jumped over by pigs.
Right, that's the gate. As you can see, we've got some storm damage left here, so we got to get that moved out of the way.
Should use steel, thick iron mesh, or good wood. Avoid using bamboo, thin mesh, small steel wire, because wild boars are very strong, easily destroying weak materials.
That was pretty good, dude. We held it in place pretty good. Get this done.
The base of the fence should be buried at least 0.6 m underground to prevent wild boars from digging holes to get through. This is a mistake that many farmers make when only building fences on the ground. The corners and joints should be firmly screwed, using large concrete or wooden stakes to keep them stable, avoiding loosening after a period of use.
Down here, it's still leaning, going up and down, so once I adjust it down there, it'll be plenty tight.
Although the initial construction cost may be high, the long-term defensive effect of the fence will help farmers save significantly on crop repair costs, limiting damage caused by wild boars. In addition to fences, traps are one of the methods chosen by many farmers to control wild boars, especially in areas where the number of individuals is too large or the terrain is too large, making it impossible to fence off all areas.
Easy, easy, easy. So since I'm working by myself today, I'm taking all these pigs out dead. I cannot take them out alive. And I'm using a 22, and I'm using subsonic bullets with a suppressor. Dead quiet.
In fact, wild boar traps must be designed firmly and placed in a reasonable location, usually on familiar paths that the herd often moves. There are many different types of traps depending on actual conditions, but the most prominent are three main groups. Snap traps use springs or heavy objects. When the wild boar steps on them, they will collapse, holding or stunning the animal. The advantage is that they are easy to install, low cost, but the effectiveness is only high with small individuals, few, or when there are people checking continuously. Barrel trap. Place a large barrel containing attractive food. When the wild boar enters, the door will automatically close. This type of trap can catch many animals at once, suitable for farms that are bombed by a herd of wild boar. The disadvantages are that it is cumbersome, time-consuming to move, and needs to be checked regularly to avoid stress, injury, or death of the pigs in the trap. Net trap. When the wild boar steps in, the net system will cover and hold it tight. Net traps are effective in areas with steep terrain or places where other types of traps are difficult to use, but require a lot of effort to remove and handle after catching the pig.
And we're going to come back in the morning and find out what we caught. I'll show you that as well. But first, let's talk a little bit about feral hogs and the damage they cause and why you should control them.
The most important thing when setting traps is to comply with local regulations on wildlife protection and labor safety. If placed in the wrong position or installed incorrectly, the trap will not only be ineffective, but also dangerous for livestock and people working in the fields. Dealing with wild boars is a constant battle. Each region and each farm has its own tips and practical experiences. No one can fight them effectively alone. The more people share, the stronger the community becomes, and the more solutions are suitable for local realities.
I like to do it in sets, you know, like kind of like working out in a gym. In my first set, try that again. It's just a cool colored hog.
Do you have any new ideas to protect crops and livestock from wild boars? Please share frankly in the comments section, including successful experiences or memorable mistakes, because who knows, someone else might learn something useful.
Pig.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because in the near future, we will continue to share many practical tips, updating solutions to prevent wild boars from many places across the country. Thank you for watching.